Welcome everybody to the Art with Errol podcast. This is our Monday check-in. Unfortunately, I had to re-record this, so I am doing my best to get this up and uploaded, but there was a real issue with the last version, so now we're going to re-record it and try to get this up and post it. This is our Monday check-in, and this is actually our 30th episode. So, wow, seems like time moves fast. Today's topic will be, taking time off, y'all. Pauses really matter. So, last week, I always like to do a recap. And anybody that's new to the podcast, I'm Errol, your host. I am a graphics designer. I am an artist and a gamer. I do content creation on YouTube, and I also am a family man and I'll still work as well. So doing a lot over here. So last week we had a wonderful week. We actually got 3 game streams in last week. Even though, I struggled a bit on some of the shooter games, but still had fun doing some gaming there. And we got our podcast done on that Monday. And Friday we did an art video where we drew Fantastic Four, since it was the release of Fantastic Four. It was all very fun doing that sketch. And this week I'm taking a little time off, so I will try to keep this podcast a little bit more brief. And get this uploaded so it can be up on the podcasting channel. This week, we basically will get the podcast done. We'll get an art video done, and I'll continue with my daily shorts on the Art with Errol gaming channel. I do the daily shorts where I give a little tidbit of news. Those are real easy to do, so there's no stress there with doing that. It's basically doing a little research, looking up some gaming news, and kind of talking about what I think is interesting. So getting into our topic today, why do we need to take breaks? It's very important to, evaluate yourself and think about, not only vacation time as, a mental break, kind of an emotional break, a personal time off, it all is going to help you rejuvenate yourself so that you can be a better creator when you come back. Just like with work, even if you're just working a regular job, this still applies to you. Taking time off. A lot of people like to just keep working like a machine, and you can very easily burn yourself out, man, and be disgruntled, be angry, and you're like, why am I so angry all the time? Or why am I starting to get agitated real easy? These things can happen to anyone. You can get burnt out on doing things. So it's very important to take vacation time, take breaks, be in a more relaxed setting. We're doing our podcast outside today, which is nice. So, just listening to the earth, But, unwinding is important, y'all. It's very, very important. I think enough people don't think about that, in terms of their daily life. They just keep going and going and going, and they get burnt out. And like I said, you can get easily agitated. You find yourself getting frustrated a lot of times. It's mainly because you're probably overwhelmed and you need a break. Sometimes, that happens. People need breaks. So taking the time, y'all, to set a vacation, set aside some time to yourself to mentally recharge and literally, relax. It's very important in your life. I think it's important in everyone's life, even when it comes to the content creating. A lot of people think that it's easy to just make videos and post them and all that stuff, but it's mentally you're trying to achieve something, and a lot of times, it can be successful. Sometimes you cannot have success, and so there is frustration. There is a level of or a point to where you can get really overworked, overwhelmed. So it is possible, even though you're like, oh, you're just making fun art videos, but you got to kind of plan some of this stuff out. There's a lot of I think planning, also execution, and then editing, video editing, and stuff that has to happen to be like a very successful creator, and that all is challenging. Now, if you're just the one that just can post and go, it may not affect you as much. But I think there still is a point where you can get burnt out. So taking off strategies. What are some strategies that content creators usually do prior to taking off? A lot of folks like to double up on videos. Basically have videos in the pocket. That way they can just have a set release schedule for the week or two that they're going to be off. That's always a great way to do it. I'm like kind of bad at doing that. I just don't have the time to actually, pre-record a lot of stuff. I've tried it before. Sometimes I can do the Sunday pre-record prior to Monday and then have it uploaded and ready to go. That sometimes works for me. But if it's possible to do the pre-recording and have like your video set to just be uploaded and set on a schedule to release during that week, that's wonderful. You can take that time off and you can kind of be ahead of the game and preparing for the next when you come back. That's a really good way to prepare yourself for a vacation and still have content going up. That way your audience is still engaged even while you're gone. Because you never want to, I think, completely take the time off and not have anything for your viewers. So even if you're going to plan to record while you're on vacation, like I'm kind of doing, taking the week and I still want to do a little bit of content, you still want to have something going up just to keep your channel active and fresh for your viewers. And if you're not going to post, it's very important to let all your viewers know, hey, we're going to be gone. We're not posting anything, or maybe I'll have a community post, or whatever you're going to do. You want to be very informative, I think. Being informative to your community is very important. Something to always think about prior to taking a vacation. And that's some best practices going forward, best strategies. There's obviously other ways to do it. Like I said, you can do a lot of the preloaded videos. You double up the week prior to going, or the weeks prior to going. You make content that you can have ready to be posted while you're gone, or you can do some short content like what I'm doing while I'm away. Balancing. Yeah, this is why also another one. Balancing ambition with rest. So, touching on that, you can definitely overwhelm yourself by doing too much. And I know I stretch myself thin a lot. I'm trying to do the podcast, which is our Monday podcast. We're doing our gaming channel, and we're trying to do the art channel as well. So, I'm stretched amongst that, along with the family activities and stuff, and my actual job, right? So that's a lot going on. And, it's always good that, like I said, balance yourself. You know when you need rest, know when you need to take a vacation and say, hey, I need time off. I have, this X, Y, and Z going on. I'm just going to take these many days off so I can recoup, recharge my batteries, and be ready to go when I come back. I want you guys to, know that you got to encourage yourself in that way to take vacation, and know that you earn time off, especially if you work a full-time job like myself. You earn time off, you earn leave, or you earn those days. So you should take those days when you find yourself getting overwhelmed, even if it's just your regular job. If you're not content creating and you're listening to this, always find the work-life balance. It's important to find work-life balance to keep yourself fresh, keep yourself from getting to that point where you get easily frustrated, or you're just in like that weird mode or that weird mood of life where you're overwhelmed and overworked, and you're just a grumpy person. You can avoid that by taking a vacation, and you'll feel better when you come back. So talking more about this week for gaming. There's no gaming this week. I'm just taking that time off. I'm just spending time with my kids and family. When we come back next week for gaming, I would like to, do another week of just some shooter action, just playing a few shooter games, maybe some Fortnite, maybe some Call of Duty again. And then the week after that, I want to dive into South of Midnight. I want to do that playthrough. We're going to do a full playthrough of that game. There's a lot of titles that I would like to play through. I'm just going to have to take them as they come. There's a ton of games coming out, games that I might have missed. I always take recommendations, so if you guys do want to please comment on any of the content, and say, hey, I'd like to see you play through this, and we'll go through and play through that game and have some fun with it. When it comes to going on, talk about a little bit about art. When it goes to like our art content, I've been trying my best to keep in with what's happening. So like with the movie releases or video game releases, I've been drawing little things from that. Just sketching in our sketchbook, quick sketch, good practice work, and just having fun with that. And that's been successful because we've been super consistent with our content. Like we have this hiccup today where I have to re-record this podcast. I had a good recording, and then I don't know what went wrong with the video, but something happened, and then the video was messed up. And then I tried to upload it. When I tried to upload it, I don't know if the file got damaged or what, but it definitely went awry. So that's where we're at. Hopefully I don't have the same issues with this one. Like I said, this one's going to be a lot more brief, but I'm still giving you kind of that full spectrum of what I wanted to talk about, which was like not burning yourself out, basically. Time off is good. Take your time off. So getting back to the art content, because I kind of bounced around a little bit right there. We're going to continue doing that until the end of this year, of doing the just whatever's relevant, just doing sketches in our sketchbook until we fill that sketchbook up. And then next year, I would really like to get that fancy camera so I can do some high quality art content where we can actually bring the canvas out again. We can, do a full on, art project. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to do it step by step, because what I like to do when I'm doing artwork, if I'm doing like a full-fledged, it's going to be like a final piece, I like to do 3 or 4 sketches prior to actually doing the actual artwork, and then we'll do it that way. So step by step, we'll do a few sketches of what we want to create, and then we'll do like a final piece on the canvas where we sketch it out, paint it and everything, so we'll go through that process, and I think it will be great because I'll have a higher quality camera. I really want, it's fine to use the phone, but there's a huge difference, I think, in the quality of the video when you have an actual video camera that's designed for production level shoots, right? So there's a higher level of quality, and I would like to have that higher level of quality, and that I think that's going to benefit you guys as well as me. I'll learn how to use that more, because the only time I actually used a production style camera was in TV production class when I took that for my graphics design degree. So it would be nice to have a really high production style camera and actually shooting high quality art content, and that's what I want to get to for next year. So be looking forward to that, because we're nearing the end of the year. Like, we're really going through this year fast, y'all. We're almost in August. It's almost the hottest month of the year, right? August, September, hottest 2 months of the year, probably, right? And then it starts to cool down, and you're into the holiday season, and that's it. That's it for the year. So, I've been saving up from here to the end of the year to get that high production camera. It's going to cost a grip. You know, they're $2,000+, so it's going to cost a grip. So I got to keep saving. But I think by Christmas time, I should have enough to get the camera. So it'll be nice. The goal is to have it by next year. You know, if it pushes a little bit into next year, it's fine. I'm going to still make art content until I get it, and we're going to go to that next level when we get the camera. But I've made it a goal to push that, push for that, So I think we can do it. I think it's achievable. 4 or 5 months worth of savings should be able to get us close enough to where we can just pay enough on cash and then maybe cover the rest on card and then pay that off, So I think I'll work it that way, figure it out. Goal is to get there. And we hit about 16 minutes, so that's wonderful, y'all. I told you it was going to be a little bit shorter. We usually do about 30 to 40 minutes on these podcasts. I hope that you're enjoying the content. And for the new listeners, please subscribe to the podcast. If you're on YouTube, like the podcast, comment, leave me some feedback. I'm always trying to figure out how to get better at doing these things. And, I've been working hard this year to deliver content, more consistent what I've been in the past. And I've always said this, some of the lessons you can take from me is to stay consistent with your videos. Try your best to find where you're making mistakes and try to fix those mistakes and keep pushing to make your content better. And that's what the podcast is mostly meant to do. And also give a little promotion to the channels that I'm providing out there. If you would like to be a part of the gaming channel or be a part of the art channel, we're calling ourselves the Artistry Society, which is a mix of art and gaming. And I'm really pushing this year to try to get better and build the community. So please, if you would like to be a part of the community, it's easy, man. You just like and subscribe to the channels. Comment, be a participant, right? Participate in the post. That's it. I consider you a member. And when I get to the point I can get badges, I have a badge that I've been working on that I made for all Artistry Society members. So that will be available once we get to the point where we can get, the actual, subs or whatever it is. That way everybody will have an Artistry Society badge that they can display for the channels. I will need to work on some, emotes, I guess, if we ever get to that point. So the channels, they're slow growing, but I think we'll get there in time. Sometimes people are slower to grow than others. It could be a personality thing. Maybe a lot of people don't like my personality. I try to be a little funny sometimes. I'm not really that great at being at the comedy aspect, but I try to add in a little something funny to our videos, whether it's me saying, doing that good morning, which we stopped, or doing the it's a bit of gaming news kind of deal, just being a little silly and, just delivering, hopefully informative information as well as some good content, I think that's where we're going to leave it. We're going to hit 20 minutes, and I appreciate you guys. Welcome to the Artistry Society. Till next time, you know what to do. do. I'm out of here, y'all.